The train pulls up, people get out, she climbs out, they give her her bags, and she stands looking for somebody, the man. But he's not there because Henry Fonda killed him.
All right, shut down those feed sacks first. Come on, come on.
She walks up and down the platform where the train is. The train is still sound effects and the vapor and all of that is still there. And horses coming out of the boxcars. Now the camera is on her, and it follows her.
This was fantastic, because usually, really, the woman is like an object. I mean, it's just the woman there. But in this film, the woman was the center of everything. The way he looked at the woman, he loved the women. And you could see that in the movie, the way he looked at me. One thing marvelous, he loved the actors. And for him, the actors were queens and kings. He was just fantastic.
Sergio was very encouraging to me. I think that his sensitivity that way towards actors is something that's kind of unusual in directors. You know, a lot of directors, I think, are intimidated by their actors or jealous of them or just sort of condescending towards them, you know, because most directors live in Hollywood, and Hollywood is a place where everybody wants to be an actor, and therefore they hate and envy actors because they're not. But Sergio was a real artist. I mean, he just loved anybody who made his film better, whether it was the actors or the set dresser or whoever it might be.
All of those close-ups, those intense close-ups, especially with the lead who had those wide-brim hats, and he'd start the close-up on the hat, and slowly the brim would rise into the eyes. Now, actors love that. Fonda loved it.
This is your American Western. This is the tradition I grew up. Now watch me subvert it. And how am I going to subvert it? I'm going to cast Henry Fonda, all right, one of your favorite good guys, as the baddest guy.
As his skill and reputation as a director increased, so more of Hollywood's top actors wanted to work with him. Although shooting schedules were often longer than those of most Hollywood productions, many appreciated his attention to detail and enjoyed his relaxed way of working.
We'd have wonderful long lunches. Charlie Bronson would say, hey, wait a minute, what is this? Why don't we get back on the set and get working? And Hank Fonda and I would say, relax, Charlie, relax. You'll never get it like this again. This is a great atmosphere here.
All the people that worked with him before telling me what a great professional he was, the first thing they tell me is how much they loved working with him. My opinion about my father is that this is one of the facets of his personality that never came out in interview because he appeared rather stern. You know, he had this penetrating stare.
We had this big Chapman crane, and I don't think he'd ever had a Chapman before. And seeing him sitting on the Chapman crane going up and down, you know, and, he was just having, his legs were kind of dangling out in space, having a wonderful time with this toy, you know, it was just great, you know.
We argued, often over stupid things. It's like a husband and wife. You know, a little disagreement. But after 5 minutes, we were going to eat together. He was a very meticulous person. He would insist on those little things that sometimes were impossible to do. He would push to the limit. And he knew that in the end, I would support him in his ideas.
This man was a big baby. He was huge, but it was like a big baby. And he adored the West. But I don't think the West was grand enough for him, so he created his own West. Everything was a bit bigger, everything was a bit louder.
Duck, you sucker.
My favorite scene was not very exciting. It's when we arrive, and I stand with my back towards the audience, and there's the bank of gold we've been trying to find. And why it was nice for me, because Sergio, when he got excited, would go like that with his hands. I don't know, he'd be talking to you. So when I saw the bank in the movie, I went, I imitated his hands. That I liked. I don't know.
The thing I recall about Sergio was his sincerity. He was very sincere about everything. He was sincere about what he wanted to be done. He was sincere about the way he shot. He was sincere, you know, like it was, and he had a sense of humor, you know, like, and he was sincere about the sense of humor, you know, like he had that, and that was one of the really nice things about him. He was really sincere, you know. When he gave you a hug, you knew that it was a hug and it was a sincere one. It wasn't just a brush arrow, you know.
Having completed Once Upon a Time the Revolution in 1971, perhaps surprisingly, he didn't direct any more movies for over 10 years.
He took such a long time out of making movies because he read a book entitled The Hoods and he fell completely in love with the story. He wanted to make a movie, but he couldn't get the rights for it.